My boyfriend's friend yelled at me for eating a French fry last night. Really confused about what happened and could use some outside insight. My boyfriend thinks I'm really sensitive sometimes, so I want to be sure about this. Last night I went out to have dinner at a friend's house. My boyfriend, Ryan, invited 2 of his friends over for dinner while I was gone. I left our house at 6 o'clock going to my friend's, and takeaway food for Ryan and his buddies had just arrived as I was leaving. 3 hours later I came home, and his 2 friends were still here. Their empty plates were on the living room coffee table, and they were just sitting on the couch drinking beer. I went into the kitchen and saw a baking tray on top of the counter with like 5 lukewarm French fries on it, so I took one. As I ate it, John, one of Ryan's friends, turned around, he could see me from the living room, and kind of yelled at me for eating it. He started loudly saying, "What are you doing? You just rock up when we haven't had our seconds and eat that? You didn't even pay for it?" John was kind of laughing, I think. Honestly can't remember, so I laughed too, thinking he was joking, but he just kept going on, so suddenly it felt like he was being serious and actually laughing at me. So I took one French fry that I was about to eat, was already holding, walked over and put it on John's empty plate, expecting him to say he was kidding, but he said thanks. I just walked off and went to my room and shut the door. It was so weird. And I'm annoyed that Ryan didn't even say anything in the moment or defend me. I had no idea they were still eating. Again, the food arrived 3 hours before I got home, and even if they were, I think the way he reacted was really rude and uncalled for. So my feelings are hurt, and I'm hurt with Ryan not doing anything. I didn't say anything last night when Ryan came to bed because I wanted to see if it still bugged me in the morning, and it does. I'm wondering if I should say something to Ryan when he wakes up, and if so, how to phrase it. Too long did not read. Boyfriend's friend snapped at me when I ate a French fry. I thought he was joking, but I'm not sure, and I'm hurt that my boyfriend didn't say anything at the time. If he wasn't joking, never let him in your house again. This guy is a dick and probably thought it was cool, or funny, to disrespect you. I would 100% never allow him to come over, ever again. He's a fucking weirdo. Maybe your boyfriend was taken aback or also confused about what happened? I think that you should tell him that it made you really uncomfortable and was disrespectful towards you. Next time he should stand up for you. If he tells you that you're too sensitive, then that's some bullshit. Don't allow him to minimize your feelings, they are valid. It's your fucking house, where you pay the bills. Like gas and electric. Like for the roof above head. If he can chill in your space, use your appliances, utilities, etc., you can eat a fucking French fry. I'd have a serious conversation about this with your boyfriend. If there's nowhere else you feel respected, in your own home is the one place you should. Him, blah blah blah. You, it's my fucking house, bitch. Laugh casually, of course, in case he's kidding, but yeah, that's how you handle that shit. In that kind of situation, you need to learn to stand your ground and sort things out in the moment, not swallow your feelings. I'm not talking about being confrontational, but if you don't know if the person is serious or joking, ask the damn question. This friend looks like one of those borderline bullies who are voluntarily rude as a joke and a habit of testing how others react. Don't let him step on your feet. Your boyfriend will certainly not defend you unless you call him out as an enabler of his friend provocative attitude. Shoot, I'd let him know that he cooked those fries using your oven that works using electricity you pay for on a pan you bought, and he's sitting in a chair you paid for in a house you pay rent for. Then I would have threw the fries away and told him to leave since he wants to be petty. But I'm also single, so what do I know, lol. Even if you didn't pay for it, it's your house. He shouldn't be speaking to you like that in your own space. And honestly, I would never, nor my partner, let one of his friends talk to me like that. It's a 3-hour-old cold French fry. 1 of 5 left on the plate. What's the issue again? And then you walk away. I'd probably tell Ryan he hangs out with an asshat, and that John needs to respect you and your house or fuck off. But I'm old and jaded, so WDIK? Maybe weird sense of humor? 'Cause otherwise, that is one of the dumbest things to trip out over, and I would have told him to STFU and relax. Bring it up when your boyfriend wakes up. That kind of behavior is not acceptable, especially in your own house. I don't think he needs any more French fries due to high blood pressure. I think he was joking and might be one of those guys who are a little socially awkward and doesn't know where the line in the sand is. I mean, his outburst just seems so damn petty. Now your boyfriend under normal circumstances should have told him to STFU unless he was too drunk to comprehend what was even happening. So strange. So strange indeed. You missed a great opportunity to put John in his place. While most likely Ryan should have told him to cool it, you should have stood on your own 2 feet, like an adult, and gotten right in his face. Tell him to eat a dick. How about, fuck off. I didn't know you still wanted to eat that after 3 hours. Show a bit of respect to the ones who actually live here, fucker. You don't need your boyfriend to protect you in a banter like this. I hate when people eat my food and feel entitled to it. If you did that, you totally deserve worse. If you didn't, that's rather uncalled for, him yelling at you. Next time you should ask, is he sexist? This is definitely an issue. If your boyfriend's friends are disrespecting you like this and your boyfriend just goes along with it, talk to him about it and emphasize how uncomfortable you feel in your own home. If he thinks you are being overly sensitive, I guess it is time to dump him. I probably would not have eaten anything not knowing whose food was whose. Growing up a bit food insecure, sometimes I tend to just ask first. Yeah, I know it's your place. Maybe Ryan's friend is tight on cash and sorta counted on his random 5 fries. That's just me though. He was rude and should have said nothing, even if it was something he had hoped to save. Textbook passive-aggressive shit. Your boyfriend probably wanted to say something till he remembered he left his balls in your purse. Next time tell him you will eat whatever you feel like in your house. If he doesn't like it, then he can kick rocks. Look, he handled it wrong and he was a dick. But without considering any emotions, you did unfairly eat something that wasn't yours. He was certainly wrong, but you weren't right either. And I'm annoyed that Ryan didn't even say anything in the moment or defend me. I mean, you are allowed to feel as you like, but maybe you should stand up for yourself. A good way to start the conversation with Ryan is to say something like, "Hey, was John joking when I grabbed that French fry?" And however Ryan responds, you can go into it afterwards and tell him how it made you feel disrespected to have his friend be so rude in your own house and how it hurt that he, Ryan, didn't stand up for you, and you could even say that you would not like to see John back in your house after how disrespectful and rude he acted towards you. Do not let Ryan belittle your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Do you know anything about this guy's background? Some people who didn't always have 3 squares as a kid can be quite food possessive from that conditioning. Sounds a bit like he is either a complete and utter twat waffle, or was trying to express a real feeling in a joking way. I would also think that if you didn't outwardly seem bothered by it, your other half may not have thought there was any need to step in. My other half knows I will speak mind as needed. He wouldn't step in unless I was very visibly distressed and gave some slight indication that I needed him to. You need to tell your boyfriend, "Hey, I really don't appreciate you just sitting there while your friend was telling me off." His response to that will tell you everything you need to know. Was it his French fry? Your boyfriend is shitty for not standing up for you and his friends are big assholes. Ever seen that episode of Friends with Joey on a Date? Ask John. I know it's awkward and you don't want to, but ask him instead of internet strangers. All we can do is guess and speculate. The only way to know what that was about is to ask John. You'll feel better afterwards because it will remove the uncertainty and because you did something brave. His reaction might be understandable if the fries had just come out of the oven and you took a huge handful of them before he had a chance to eat. But that was one cold fry hours later. What is his problem? Even if it was his idea of a joke, he came off as rude and needs to be told to shut his face. Ryan is weak. It seems that your boyfriend was trashing you behind your back to his buddies, e.g. you are not contributing financially, you are mooching off him, you don't cook, whatever it may be. Then his buddy got a few beers in him, and decided to confront you about the stupid French fry, fueled by what the boyfriend told him before. And then your boyfriend did not know how to react, because taking your side would lead to his buddies outing his shit-talking. I'm not saying you do any of the things above, just speculating, because their behavior was very weird. First, if he was more than likely drunk and definitely overreacted to you taking a fry. Second of all, Ryan should have backed you up and said, "Hey man, you're raising your voice at my GF, please stop," and then tell you to put the chip back. Also, John should apologize for the yelling. Third, never take another person's food. You don't know what kind of household they lived in and may have always had to fight for their food, like Joey and his 7 sisters. He yelled at Phoebe. Joey never shares food, and got super mad, and very understandable since he would have been left with stuff all after 7 sisters eat his fill. Never let that asshole in your house again. How dare he, joking, or not, make you feel uncomfortable in your home. I wish I knew you in real life so I could go yell at him for you. Shame on your boyfriend for not standing up for you. Seriously, I'm angry on your behalf. You should have called the friend out then and there, like, "It's one fry dude, it's not really your boyfriend's fault." If it was supposed to be a joke, it was a very bad one. Here's the thing, it's your house, you live there. You decide if someone is breaking your boundaries or not. If it was too much for you, discuss it with your guy and don't let him shoo you off with the "you're too sensitive" bullshit. Personally, my answer would have been, did you pay for water and electricity you use? Or if you'd want to be less direct, you can say, this is your tax. And eat that bad boy as close to his face as possible. This isn't Ryan's problem, you should tell John to fuck off. Next time something like this happens, you need to look them dead in the eye and piss on your floor a bit to assert dominance. John is no longer allowed in your apartment again. Should have thrown the French fry at him. If there's one thing you shouldn't do, it's don't touch a man's fries. I wouldn't worry about it too much, it might have just been the drink talking. You sure they weren't on something? Like shrooms? If they weren't high drunk, then this is awkward AF. Learn to use your middle finger. You're competing for scraps, kid. You need a better job. Next time he tries to pull that shit in your home, remind him that it's your home and point to the door if he doesn't like it. 'Cause, yeah, I wouldn't have taken that lying down. This reminded me of Joey from Friends. Joey doesn't share food. My issue isn't this guy being an asshat, it's your boyfriend letting him disrespect you in your home. Time to see when he doesn't respect you and stand up for you, and why didn't you tell the guy when his ass pays rent you'll give a fuck about what he thinks, shut up, sit down or leave. And if my boyfriend had said anything about how I handled it, I would have told him, if you don't like it, handle it yourself so I don't have to be further disrespected. Rock up in here, bruh, you live there. What were you supposed to do, clean up their mess? Next time throw a nickel on the ground in front of him and tell him he can buy a replacement fry on the way home. Next time say, what the fuck are you doing in my house? Then tell him to get the fuck out before you call the cops. Might lose your boyfriend though. Worth.